So a couple of issues ago we had our 300cc two-stroke shootout, the 2015 models, this Sherco SE-R racing model that they bring into Australia against the KTM and Beta. All three fantastic bikes. As all Sherco's four-stroke models are, the two-stroke here was immediately competitive against those new bikes. It's only the second model that's come out from Sherco, who's a relatively young company. But I think if there was one thing that let the Sherco down in that test, it was the fact that the engine really it wasn't as sort of smooth and torquey, which is what everybody's leaning towards these days, and the KTM and the Beta are magnificent examples of smooth and torquey engines. Whereas the Sherco came on a lot more like a motocross hit, a lot more abrupt. Anyway, subsequent to going to print on that November-December issue where we had that 300 shootout, we found out there was an assembly, like a freak assembly problem with one of the booster ports in the power valve mechanism with this Sherco 300SE-R. Uses electronic power valves, so a combination of that and perhaps some adjustment issues with the actual the little cables that run to the servo motor that adjust the power valve. Anyway, long story short is it's made a big problem. It's filled that hole, made the bike a lot smoother and torquier and easier to ride. And when you're talking about with something as much mumbo as this, particularly this Sherco, which in a drag race blew the Beta and KTM off, getting that smooth, usable application of the power was everything. So that was a big benefit. But look, that's been the only report, talking to all the Sherco dealers out there, that's been the only report of that. But the good thing is we kept that same unit because we wanted to develop that and sort of ensure that some of the problems we encountered with at the shootout, we actually ironed those out, and that's exactly what we've done. So I guess the primary focus for me, early days, we've got this bike for about 6 months, was to put some protection on. So the guys from Force Accessories, Australian company, they've got a beautifully made pipe guard or pipe and bash plate. Comes with alloy with a black annealed, they're sort of patented, I think it is, black annealed paint on the thing, which sort of keeps noise down. That's a beautifully made specimen, and given that this thing's got an FMF gnarly pipe standard, the first end I got in that, it was really obvious to put that on. Adds about 2 kilos, but definitely protection worth doing. Continuing with Force, we also put a rear brake disc guard on there and also a case saver, so just those little protective things. The other thing is this Sherco does, as in all Shercos, they come with hand guards, but they're pretty flimsy. Syker have just come out with these new, what they're calling Rebound shield hand guards, which have got a patented sort of spring-loaded flex system, pretty strong, don't use a lot of clamping space, can go over or under your levers, so fitted a set of them and they're proving to be really, really good. Some other little bits and pieces. Well, the cool thing is I fitted the guys from Mojo Australia, the Sherco distributors, sent us a clear tank. That's what comes out on their special edition models. Really cool. Not only looks cool, but it's also really practical, being able to see where your fuel is. What else have we done? We've put some Michelin tyres on it. Comes with a Comp 6 front, which is fantastic. We've put an MS3 because there's been so much rain over the last little while, so that worked a treat in the soft terrain. We've gone for an SSB battery, lithium battery, which saves a little over 1 kilo on the bike. We put some Repsol oils and lubricants through the bike. Repsol, obviously a huge company and well known in MotoGP and road racing circles. Recently coming to Australia through Monza Imports, and also focusing, they've got an off-road specific range now. And that's about, well, and of course my favourite lock-on EMIG spec ODI grips. You know, doing away with tie wire and grip glue forever is a key thing. So from here, the focus is really just, I think now, given that this bike's got an electronic power valve, just to be able to, the next few months, while we've got this bike, we want to sort of muck around with adjusting that, seeing how we can dial it. We've got the chassis geometry better. These things do like a little bit more sag in the rear. Some dealers saying up to sort of 110mm race sag. I sit at about 105. Definitely makes the sort of chassis work a little better. And that just other little tweaks. So looking to March, April issue of the magazine, which goes on sale in early March. We can take you through all that in detail. Also some little issues we had with the side stand, with the access to the preload collar, with the fuel cap, just those little idiosyncrasies of a sort of relatively new model bike, just teething problems, I guess, which we've managed to iron out. So we'll take you through in detail that, and then talk a little bit about what's coming up in the second instalment.